Hello, everybody. Sherman, Leave a Legacy, episode number 12. This one is the acronym of A.B.L. Always be learning. Your best athletes are always coachable. They're looking at film, they're looking at their fundamentals, getting better. In the business world and the entrepreneur, as a startup, you need to, as a leader, you need to focus in on who you are, what your strengths are, and just get really, really honed in on those strengths. Find out ways that you can delegate out your weaknesses, ways that you can basically have others either mask those weaknesses or figure out how you can adjust with those. Obviously, cash flow is an issue when it comes to staff, and so sometimes those struggling things that maybe you're not strong on the P&L, and so going out and hiring a CFO is not going to be ideal, but maybe partnering up with a CPA. I think oftentimes being able to barter professional services is not fully utilized, and definitely can be. You know, where an accountant says, "Hey," to an attorney, "Look, if you prepare my LLC and contract paperwork, then I will do your taxes." And there's a great way to be able to do things like that. When it comes to always be learning, this is where the difference between education and our school systems exist right now, where you're basically going like a widget and saying, "Hey, learn me, preach to me," and that basically happens from kindergarten all the way to the end of college. Even in some of your master's programs, it's still that mentality of, hey, someone's lecturing in the front of the room and you're meant to be able to then just regurgitate it on some kind of exam or some kind of format later. Even if it's in a team setting, it's still just this regurgitation of information. And so what you're having here is, once you get into your career, is there's a necessary piece to be able to stay on top of your game. You have to learn a lot of things. Especially as an entrepreneur, you end up wearing multiple hats. If any of you have read the book E-Myth Revisited, I'll definitely hit that up in some future episodes, where you're taught, where you go through wearing those multiple hats of an entrepreneur, a technician, and a manager. And some of those areas you might have a weakness. And so what you want to be able to make sure that you do is you don't neglect them, or else what happens is you don't have a full-fledged, strong business. And it struggles in various areas depending on where that's at. For me, when it comes to always be learning, I want to make sure that I'm spending enough time on the technical side of my business. At the same time, I want to make sure that I'm understanding the leadership side, the sales side, and be able to make sure too that I'm looking out at the vision or the overall industry to know where it's going, to be able to make sure that I can pivot and make sure that I can take advantage of any opportunities that arise. Always be learning. How do you learn?